All right, everyone, good Shabbos. Well, it still takes a little getting used to look out and not see cardboard cutouts of congregants. We see real congregants, live congregants. That's wonderful. As we gradually get back into the new normal, we have this hybrid system where we have people coming for worship, not only here, but virtually. So those of you who are watching through live control, we welcome you as well. Well, tonight is special for more than one reason. Not only is it Shabbat, but tomorrow we are celebrating a bat mitzvah, and tonight we are also bidding a fun farewell service to Rabbi Olshein. So let's begin by inviting Angela, our bat mitzvah, to come forward. You have a special mitzvah project that you want to tell everyone about. All right, come on up.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Angela Youngman, and I am in 7th grade. I'm here today to talk about my mitzvah project. For my mitzvah project, I am raising money for a foundation called Twinkle Toes Foundation. Twinkle Toes Foundation is an organization where they give underprivileged children money for dance or any arts. I want to raise money for them because I have been dancing since I was 2, and dance has been really impactful for me. It has been a way I can express myself while also having fun with my friends. I don't know what I would do without dance, so I want to make sure that no child that wants to dance can dance. So if you would like to donate, you can go to twinkletoesfoundation.org. Thank you.
All right, don't go away because it is time to usher in Shabbat with a beautiful song, Shalom Aleichem, and then the mitzvah of kindling the Shabbat lights. So we'd like to have you stay and invite your mother, Elsbieta, please come forward. Shalom Aleichem.
In a second, just stand there. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you like any of the melodies from tonight, you can ask Rabbi Olshein. This is her favorites, her greatest hits of Shabbat that she has requested. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Go ahead and light it. Take this whole thing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue in our prayer books on page 124. We read together, "We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door in the brightness of Shabbat. Let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer." We join together in Lachadodi.
Page 138. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem ol tiferet ve'liti la 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 la, lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, ki hi mekor ha'beracha, mirosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavatechi la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. We rise to greet the Shabbat bride, verse 9. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha v'tzola, toch emunei dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela, la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. That was a throwback.
And a nice one.
Yeah.
Gets people moving. In our prayer books, we're now going to turn to page 147. We've reached the part in our service where we are called to worship. We are called to action. We are called to rise and say, yes, I am ready to pray. And I think back to the moments here at Congregation Near Tamid some 20 years ago, about 20 years ago, where people invited me, including David Stahl in the back and Shauna Parker Brody right here in the front row, to help lead our community in worship, and said, you can do it. And I remember being invited to give the announcements as a brand new board member, and my heart fluttering crazy, and people would say, but you're a lawyer, you speak all the time. And I finally figured it out. I was a lawyer, and I got up and I argued about money. But this mattered. Inviting people to participate in their Judaism and say yes when asked. That mattered to me in a different way than arguing about thousands of dollars in court. And so each of us in every worship service is invited to rise, and I think sometimes we forget the question that is being asked. As my mentor on the bottom of page 147, Rabbi Richard Levy of blessed memory said, and as Rabbi Axelrod's mentor of blessed memory from generation to generation said, the question is, when the leader calls out, Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, are you ready to pray? We all have the opportunity to respond, yes, we are ready to pray. And so I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and ask you the question, are you ready to pray?
Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya 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 la la la.
Our statement of belief, page 152, the Shema.
Shema Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Please be seated. We continue with Ve'ahavta, page 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol livavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anohi mitzavecha hayom al livavecha Vishinanta am livanecha vidibarta bam beshiftecha avutecha uvlektecha avaderech uvshachbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot beinenecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beiteha uvishareha lema antiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yetem kiddoshim leilo lehem ani Adonai Elohehem Asher hotzeti etem me'eretz Mitzrayim leot lahem lelohim ani Adonai Elohehem Adonai Elohehem emet.
Continuing in our prayer books, on page 158, we find the words from the book of Exodus, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osei feleh. Who is like you, O God, among the little g gods who are worshipped? I think back to the idea that the Israelite people started their journey in slavery in Egypt. Mitzrayim, Egypt, defined as the narrow place. Each of us is on a journey, or perhaps many journeys. We've been on many journeys, going from figuring out what our narrow places were, or perhaps what our narrow places are, and finding the courage to take one small step each day towards freeing ourselves, liberating ourselves from those narrow places. It takes courage. We often hear the story of that one person who had the courage to walk forward even though the waters had not yet parted. And I wonder what it must have felt like to be Nachshon, that one person where some people thought he was crazy. And yet, somewhere deep down, he understood that maybe he had the strength within him all the time to take that step forward and another baby step, one at a time, knowing always that his freedom was on the other side. We sing Mi Chamocha, celebrating our liberty, celebrating our freedom from all that enslaves us.
Page 158. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osei feleh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osei feleh. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who Techa Ra'u Vanecha Bokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe uMiriam Zeli Anu Ve'amru Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed. Who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai.
Turning to page 161 and 160, we find our prayer that is truly a lullaby. Help us, God, to find peace as we lay our heads down each night to wake up tomorrow with life renewed.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkiveinu Leshalom, Ve'ha'amidenu Shomreinu Lechaim, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkiveinu Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. We turn now to page 164, 165 for the Amidah. Please rise. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך ופי יגיד תהילתך Adonai sfatai tiftach Adonai sfatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha ufi agid tehilatecha. Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Avotenu Vehimotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Velohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rahel Velohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zoher Haste Avot V'Himaot Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem Leman Shemo V'Achava Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagein Baruch atah Adonai Magein Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechaye hakol Atah Rav le'Hoshia Morid hatal Mehalkel hayim behesed Mehaye hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim verofei ho'olim Umatir asurim Umechaye emunato Lishanei afar Michamocha ba'al givurot Umidomela Melech meimit umechaye Umatmi al Yeshua V'neman hata v'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye hakol
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We continue in silent devotion using the words on the right or the left side of the page or the words within your heart. We finish on page 181. When you have completed your prayers, please be seated. If there are names that you would like to submit for Misha Berach for prayers of healing, please add them now to the chat in the Facebook or the YouTube.
Our Misha Berach is found on page 371. It's a time when we think of those in need of healing, healing of the mind, the body, the heart. It's a time when we think of those who are caregivers, who give of themselves readily to make sure that those who are sick are attended to and comforted in their time of need. To all of these, we ask that God bring to them hope and healing and strength. This time, I think of those whose names were submitted to the temple office: Irvin Zaid, Renee Diamond, Arlene Cohen, Regina Baker, Derek Baker, Eli Bott, Shashaf and Zigali, Myrene Aschenbach, my mother, and my sister Dina. For those of you who'd like to say the name of a loved one for Misha Berach, a prayer of healing, simply stand now and say their names, as many names as you would like.
G. Gallo, Philip Beer, Jason Schneider, Jane Cranston, Melissa, Michael and Silvana, Peter Said, Diana Davis, Clay Tarika, Jack Cohen, Donald Schwartz, Teresa Bertelli-Ream, Ann Solwick, Maddie Imus, Debbie Van Dunk, John Canone, Jean Schneider, Andre McGowan, Richard Slade, Karen Huber, Stella and Morton Bangsdorf, David Roth, Chris Fainblatt, Kurt Plotkin, Rhonda Lasante.
With all of these and so many others in our hearts for prayers of healing, we join together, Misha Berach.
Jose Mendoza, Arlene Kaplan. Patricia Mendoza. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha May the source of strength, who'll bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
It's been a little over a year since Rabbi Olshein and I had a conversation about her coming to assist our congregation as our resident rabbinic scholar during this sabbatical year of hers when she was making progress on a book and it came at just the right time for us, and I hope for her as well. And Cantor and I will have a chance to say a few words, but as we discussed where she wanted to have the most impact, there were two areas in particular, many more, but two in particular. One had to do with social justice, and the other had to do with the Minyan. So I want to invite our VP of Social Action, Cindy Jensen, to come and share a few thoughts. Oh, looks like she's got a gift too.
Rabbi Olshein. I hope I can not cry. I'm a big crier. The Social Justice Committee and Social Justice Study Group are so grateful for all the guidance and help you've given us this past year, me in particular. We were struggling to find a new paths to help move our congregation further towards social justice and action. And you put us on that path, and we will be forever thankful. We think the words of one of our members says it perfectly. We want you to know how amazing your adult education classes have been. Your gift for helping people feel included and accepted within your classes and among the group was especially felt. And for social justice, I think that goes even further because you were handling very difficult situations, things that were difficult for us to talk about, and you brought us through that. You have such a kind nature, and your wisdom and knowledge reach so many within and beyond your classrooms. Thank you, Demetrius. She's the one who summarized those thoughts for us. Rabbi, you helped us flourish in our search for social justice and action and helped us see the time is now. So this is a little something that hopefully will remind you that time is now. The time is now, and also help you your new garden flourish. Giant box. It literally says flourish. I know of my love of gardening that I discovered during COVID. So, more. Says the time, THYME, is now. I'm not hugging people yet, but thank you, Rabbi. Who's going to go in the office in 10 minutes?
All right, every person who comes up is going to bring an even bigger box. So, your Shabbos friend, your dear friend, our chair of our Minyan Committee is Shauna Brody. So, Shauna, please come forward. I know you're speaking on behalf of yourself, but really the Minyan, so many people who have touched, whose lives have been touched by Rabbi Olshein.
Yes, thank you. So for those who don't know, I'm Shauna Brody. I have been a member of the Minyan since it began. There was a good decade gap there while I was raising a little kid and then came back to the Minyan. We do Torah study every Saturday morning at 8:45 and then prayer and then continue studying for another hour. And that is when and where I first met Rabbi Olshein. Actually, we met at a Torathon before that, and I invited you to the Torah study. So I've been tasked with representing the Minyan in a feeble attempt to say thank you for all that you've done for us this last year. What can I say? I, like you all, have loved having Rabbi Olshein with us this year as our resident rabbinic scholar. All the classes she's been able to teach, leading us in Shabbat morning prayers, encouraging us to stretch our social justice muscles a bit. sharing tips and tricks with me about using Zoom for classes and meetings and get-togethers. We were just doing that on the way here this evening. Rabbi, your presence here this year has meant the world to me. I hate it when words fail me, and knowing that I would choke up, I want to read what many of the other Minyan members had to say about your impact on their lives during this past year. Quote, "What a delight it has been to be able to study with you again this year via Zoom. You come into my home with enthusiasm, joy, and great knowledge, and when the class ends, I am filled with exhilaration. I love learning from you and will miss you." Another quote, "Thank you for your words of wisdom, your teaching, your humor, and your kindnesses. You have been a light and helped keep me grounded and learning during the 2021 year." A longtime Minyan member waxed eloquent about the first decade or so that you spent with us learning, teaching, and leading prayer over on Emerson, and ends with thanking you for always being able to bring us new insights into the course material. Rabbi Olshein has certainly enriched our Minyan experience. Another long-timer says, "I remember Rabbi Olshein when she was just Cookie. Now, as a rabbi, she is still Cookie to me, and as smart as she ever was back then, and now a wonderful teacher and a congregational leader. Tempe is lucky to have you." An enthusiastic Minyan member wrote, "I've been so happy about all the classes that have been offered by Rabbi Olshein virtually on Tuesday nights, of which I might add that I have taken all of them." Several made comments like this: "Rabbi Olshein has made it only too clear to me that no matter how much I think I know, no matter how much I study, I need to learn to listen because there is so much I do not understand." And another said, "Just when I thought that I was starting to understand the complex religion of Judaism after taking so many classes every year for dozens of years, in comes Rabbi Olshein to teach Judaic classes with a legal twist." I guess a good way to sum up how we feel about you is to just list some of the adjectives and adverbs used by the Minyan to describe you: genuine, professional, scholarly, smiles easily, dog lover, gardener, mensch, uplifting, spirited, inspirational, challenging talks and classes, teacher, and wise. Basically, everyone agrees you have added so much to CNT and that Tempe is very lucky to have you, and we will all miss you. But I will miss you the most. You have enriched my life in so many ways, personally, intellectually, as a woman, as a homeowner. I'm growing cherry tomatoes. I ate 2 today. I will miss you, and I'm glad you're only 4 hours and 48 minutes away. I will visit you often. May you go from strength to strength. I love you. Oh, and we have a gift.
Thank you all.
Wait, you want more tissue? We have a lot of gloves. All right. Our temple president, Jerry Gordon, wants to represent really the entire community because you have impacted all of us in a very special way. So, Jerry, take it away.
Rabbi. Over the 40 years I've been working through administration of temples and the ORJ, the one thing that I've always been struck by is the number of rabbis who are also lawyers. It's extraordinarily significant. And maybe one of the reasons is that lawyers are trained to cut through the noise and get to the essentials. So in looking at your relationship to our temple, 20 years ago, you're on the board, then Cookie goes off to rabbinic school and is ordained. You end up in Florida. And then, like a siren call, you come back here to contemplate, to write, to relax, to stress out. and zap, you're slammed with COVID. Some like because 30 years ago, I left after 15 years on the board, figuring never again. And then, zam, comes COVID. So, over the past year, while you came in to assist in minions and a couple other dabblings, you end up doing services, you end up doing life cycles, you end up doing adult education, you end up doing everything that is challenging and that we needed in this really trying time. You were so essential to us. Your good nature, your insights, your dedication, your spirituality was just instrumental. And on behalf of the entire congregation, thank you. And we wish you well in Tempe. I know that temple. I dealt with them when I was in the URJ. It's a very fine collection. Now, one problem is that Tempe is not the jewel, and Phoenix is not the jewel in the desert. For planting, you need lots of manure, you need lots of shade, you need resilient plants, and you need lots of water. So that's a start, and on behalf of the entire congregation, wherever I have it, we'd like to make this small gift to you and wish you well. You're only going to be 300 and something miles away. So if you have a spare moment or two, come up and assist us with a minion or a life cycle. Okay. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. I have to say thank you to Jerry. I was on the board when I think you were president/immediate past president. Does that sound right? All those years ago? Maybe? And Jackie Rosen and so many people.
No, it's
Rabbi
in
who
order.
can't
Here
talk?
Okay, well, we took a vote. You get to talk. But first, Cantor and I get to talk.
So in our Parsha this week, Naso, we see the precious words of the priestly blessing. The Eternal One spoke to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and his sons, thus shall you bless the people of Israel. Say to them, the Eternal bless you and protect you. The Eternal deal kindly and graciously with you. The Eternal bestow favor upon you and grant you peace. Thus they shall link my name with the people of Israel, and I will bless them." Tonight, this blessing is in honor of you. With such perfect symmetry to our Torah's teaching, we bless you as you embark on this journey. We pray that God blesses you with everything good, that you flourish and connect with your new community, and bring them the overflowing of gifts that you have brought to us. Truly, you have been a blessing to us this year and always. I believe that things happen as they are supposed to, when they are supposed to. Sometimes we don't quite understand why. And when we needed your insight, your knowledge, and your strength, you were there for us. And hopefully, we were there for you too. While we are sad to see you go, we are ecstatic for you and this journey. And this is not really goodbye, it's lahitrot, see you later. For this is always your home, this is always where you belong. And thank you for the wonderful year of scholarship and friendship.
When I was a congregant here, I got very angry at Rabbi Sanford Axelrod, who's walking away, because I thought he didn't show up enough. You should come back. I was very angry at him. I wanted him to be everywhere all the time when I needed him. And then I became a rabbi. And I realized that rabbis cannot be everywhere, that I want to be all the time. But he was always there when I needed him, like this year. And this year has been an incredible blessing because I can now add Cantor Jessica Hutchings to that list of people who cannot be everywhere all the time, but who is always there when I need her. This congregation has no idea. Wait a minute. I hope you have an idea how lucky you all are to have these incredible, hardworking professionals who are supremely talented, who give their hearts and souls and the best parts of their lives to this community, whose every efforts are to raise people up. I have never had such good role models in my life. And I am honored to have been able to stand next to both of you and do my little part to help lead this community this year. Thank you for trusting me and allowing me the privilege. Thank you.
We're standing in line. Listen, so here we are, I don't know, a little over a year. What are we going to do? What are we going to call this? You know? And we came up with this Rabbis love alliteration, resident rabbinic scholar, right? But who knows what it would be? Maybe a class here or there. Maybe it would be a Shabbat here or there. But I know you, you know yourself. You can't help but grow. Maybe that's why you have that love of gardening, because even when you were our rabbinic intern, you would drive from Los Angeles on a Friday morning so you could get here by noon to teach a class. I don't think we had any students from HUC who did that ever. You always went above and beyond. But when you talk about being there when someone needs you, like so many people, I got COVID, right? And I was fine until I wasn't. And I think it was October 31st, and I had a funeral on Sunday, and I handed you my notes via the internet, and you went in there, and you were there for that family. And guess what? She happened to have known the family, because didn't you have your adult bat mitzvah, I think, with that was a different one? Okay. But you did know the deceased. Yeah, you knew the deceased. So it's amazing the connections you have to our temple. But we're a team, and thank you for being there for me and for our congregation. And so for helping with the life cycles, and as Jerry pointed out, for the classes coming here Friday night, the pet blessing ceremony, the list goes on and on. So thank you for moving to Tempe so you don't take my job. My God, this is a, stop it. You know, people don't understand when we went to a Zoom world that it really took a lot of us to make congregation here to me still vibrant and alive in a virtual world. And it's not an easy thing to do, whether it's the technology or dreaming up programs or saying, hey guys, we're more than just what happens inside the walls. We are an idea and a spirit, and therefore we want to find every way possible to connect. I don't think we could have done it without your help, without Becky Mann's help, without all of us coming together. And so we know that you will continue to be part of our lives, not only because you care, but that's the power of Zoom, right? Because now we can collaborate. And so I look forward to that. Cookie, I've always seen you as someone special, and I'm proud to be your mentor, your colleague and friend. Thank you. Thank you. Let's all rise now, if we could, for the adoration. 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Please enter the names of those you are thinking of tonight for Kaddish and Yortzeit.
Please be seated. We think of those who have died in recent days: George Barnett, Rich Bale, Solomon Spare, Rosalie Ivner, Ernesta Youngman, Pete Fernandez, Geraldine Tabak, Janet Barsky, Marty Winnick, Flory Sassner, and Larry Gold. We think of those whose Yortzites are recalled: Fausto Acosta, Lena Axelrod, my grandma, Ida Bass, Erwin Bush, Lena Cohen, Rose Dick, B. Edlovich, Herman Espinski, Madeline Faden, Marion Friedner, Hal Glist, Abraham Goldstein, Louis Green, Arthur Grutman, Hinda Joy Hinden, Carla K. Jonas, Rose Cantor, Buddy Kaufman, Roberta Klein, Mina Leboff, Sarah Malamud, Saul Miller, Ethel Miller, Harold Miller, Marilyn Miller, Maurice Noyek, Dee Ober, Rena Roberts, James Robertson, Gerald Roman, Doris Roth, Burton Borat Rudolph, Harvey Sanoff, Charlotte Scherter, Joey Skilbred, Ruth Stile, Daniel Stucker, Jack Torchin, Naomi Blanche, Weinberg, Kabikoff, David Wirt, Steve Winard, Saul Yellen, and Stuart Zatlin.
If there are names that you are recalling tonight, please rise and say their names. Grieg Jensen, Maggie Jones, Fred Novin, Allison Knight, Flory Sassner, Marlene Shaft, Merrill Goldman, Jerry Brown, George Barnett, Pete Fernandez.
598, we rise to recite Kaddish.
Fred Novin.
Yit Gadol v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeda chol Beit Yisrael, Bagalav ezman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam omeil maya, Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit ba'ar v'yitramam v'yit nasei, v'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal, Shemei dekusha b'richu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, Tush bechata v'nechemata, Damiram v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shamayim v'chayim, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. O say shalom b'mromav, O ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say amen. May be seated. Call upon our temple president, Jerry Gord, for a word of Shabbos greeting.
First, I'd like to thank, obviously, Rabbi Olshein, Cantor Hutchings, and Rabbi Axelrod for the services tonight. Ricky on the piano. Heather, virtually on tech and sound. Hopefully you heard us out there, so she's done a good job. All of our amazing ushers and volunteers. The Youngman family for sponsoring tonight's Own It in honor of Angela's bat mitzvah. Just a few announcements. And I would, again, urge you to go to the website and also your email blast for various events taking place. If you do not get an email blast literally every day, then please contact the office and make sure they have your email. First, obviously, Becky Mann's farewell service will be on June 4th. Becky has been our cantoral intern. Registration will be open next week for the service, so please join us on June 4th. Let me jump down to Introduction to Judaism and Intro to Hebrew with Pam Poster starts on June 2nd for a 6-week session on Zoom. The class is open to everyone. More information along with registration will again be on the CNT website. Our annual meeting will be virtual and on Sunday, June 13th at 4 p.m. Registration will open next week. You'll receive, both by email and otherwise, materials for the virtual meeting. Please return your proxy, or if you're not going to attend, please return your proxy. It's essential that we have a turnout of a quorum so we can conduct business. Again, we hope that you will join us on June 13th for that event. Onigs are back, well, kind of. Right now on a take-home fashion and soon out in the patio. So if you wish to sponsor an Onig, please contact Roberta in the office. And that's about it. So Shabbat Shalom.
And if you want to join the choir, I think everyone had a hankering for some, I know Rabbi does every year. You still have your solo, don't worry.
Yeah, solo, no one can hear it, but that's okay.
We're actually coming back in person, which is so exciting. On June 8th, our rehearsals will begin with Ricky right here in the choir loft.
In-person rehearsals.
In person.
Okay.
On June 8th at 6:30. So please email me or Heather. Let us know you are planning to attend so we have enough seats.
We had a few people come the last few services. We're getting some new choir members.
I know, I'm so excited. Some of them are right there.
Oh, there you are.
Raise your
We're
hand if you're a
looking
choir
forward-
member, because there's like a lot of choir members here.
All right, we're
Those
looking
choir
forward
members,
to it.
meet those new choir members, please.
All
Okay,
right,
thank
look
you.
at each other, get to know each other. That's great. So we have a special oneg. We're going to go out the back double doors, and you're going to love this oneg. So thank you for being the sponsors in honor of your daughter, in honor of Rabbi Olshein. So it's wonderful. We hope that those of you who are watching virtually now find yourselves welcome to make your way here in person.
And we want to say a special mazel tov again to Angela, who will be called to Torah in the morning at 10:30.
All right, so that's great. So a little kiddush. Here we go.
All right, Angela.
Angela, come on up.
Grab that one. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lehem min haaretz. Amen.
We're kind of, unfortunately, in the mood of goodbyes. Don't we have a special service for Becky coming up, too?
We do. Jerry mentioned it. June 4th is Becky's farewell. Again, a Lahitra service. See you later service.
That's
There's no
right.
goodbye services around here.
Yes.
Once you're CNT, you're always
That's it.
CNT.
So she's going to go back physically to New York to continue her cantorial studies. Okay, I will. So Dell reminded me, again, we're going through the back double doors. You'll get your oneg, and then we'll make our way through the side doors through the patio. All right, final song.
A special Osei Shalom, Rabbi Olshein's favorite. Is it still your favorite? One of her favorites. Okay.
This is her favorite tonight. Okay.
Osei Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, hey, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. yaseh shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. May there be peace in Israel and everywhere in the world. Amen. Shabbat shalom.